welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 45 of the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast. I'm your host, Abby Hegney, and I am really excited for this episode today. I am just coming off of my Becoming Masterclass, so I got to deliver that to all of the women who registered and to record that for everybody who is on my list, and now I get to record this podcast for you. And it's just so much fun. And it's perfect because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And I really think that we don't talk about this enough, especially in the space of weight loss and creating healthy habits and building confidence. And I really think that we need to. I think that it not only needs to be talked about more and focused on more, that it really needs to be a top priority. So today we are talking about having fun. And if your immediate reaction to that was something along the lines of how can it possibly be fun to lose weight or to be healthy, I want that right now to be your signal that whatever you are doing to lose weight or to change your habits right now is not working for you or your life. It's a clear sign that it's not going to last. And I say this all the time, but I want you to really hear it today. So that the way in which you create your habits, the way in which you lose the weight that you want to lose, the way in which you build your confidence is the way in which you will have to maintain it. If it feels like a struggle, if you are trying to willpower and muscle your way through, stop it. Stop it right now. Just save yourself. Save yourself the time and the energy. It is not the plan for you. And that doesn't mean that you have to give up or that it's not possible. It just means that you need to redirect yourself. You need to redirect your approach or your mindset or the way in which you are feeling. Something needs to change. And that doesn't mean that every step of the way is going to feel like, oh my gosh, this is so fun and I love this. But it should come to you with a level of enjoyment. You should be able to live your life and create the habits that you want to create. You should be able to live the best parts of your life and still lose the weight that you want to lose and feel really confident in your ability to maintain that weight loss. If that is not the case for you, I really want you to think, I've got to change something. I've got to switch it up. I've got to have more fun. And I have been thinking about this a lot lately. And the thing that really brought this to my attention was watching the UConn women's basketball team win the NCAA championship last weekend, or I guess it was probably 2 weekends ago. Did you guys know that I went to UConn? I'm not sure if I have mentioned that in the past on this podcast, but I did. I went to UConn, and it's where my husband and I met. I was on the women's rowing team there. So we are big UConn fans in this house. And it was so fun to watch the team go on and win the national title and to particularly watch that team do it. And as I was watching them, it was so clear to me that they were putting in the hard work, right? They were working hard for that title. And there were moments of frustration and there were moments of disappointment. There were missed shots. There were fouls. There were all of the things that happen in a basketball game. And I'm sure that there were a lot of moments of doubt where every single one of their player did something that caused them to have like a little ounce of doubt. And there was probably a lot of those moments. But through it all, that team stayed so focused on what was in front of them. They were focused on the national championship and on winning the national championship. And the thing that really stuck out to me was how much fun they were having. There were smiles and there were laughter, and you could tell that there were some inside jokes going on the sidelines, and there were a lot of encouraging words and gestures among the team and even among the coaches. And yes, it is absolutely easy to have fun when you are winning. But you could see that the fun that they were having, the fun that was available to them, was fueling their win. It was fueling the entire team. It was fueling every step, every play, every shot that they took. The fun that they were having carried them through that frustration and the doubt and the disappointment and the missed shots and the fouls. Even if those individual moments weren't fun, they knew that they could have fun. They had so much evidence to support that. It was weaved throughout their entire journey. If you looked back at any of their games, or if you followed them at all throughout the season, you could tell how much fun that team was having. So even if they had moments that were far from fun, the fun that they had had, the fun that they knew was there, that was available to them, kept them going. And then I saw this again on this past Sunday when Rory McIlroy, however you say his last name, won his first Masters championship. And do you know that he started in 17 Masters before he won? 17 times. He picked himself up and put himself back on that stage and kept him going in front of millions of people, may add. 17 times he held belief in himself, in what he was capable of, and in the possibility of winning. And you don't do that without having fun. That is why so many of you give up on your goals too soon. You miss the fun. Or most likely, you don't even believe that fun can be a part of the process. You forget why you started in the first place. What starting actually meant. It meant that you believed in that possibility that you could actually achieve it. It meant that you were willing to try and that you were willing to fail. Because our journey is never a win, 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 win. Our journey is going to be laced with wins and fails along the way. But somewhere along the way, you forgot the willingness to show up, to fail, to have a misstep. And then any misstep that you had or any failure along the way became personal. You made it mean that you can't do it, that you weren't capable. And instead of seeing it as an opportunity to show up differently, to try something new, you decided to give up. You decided, I can't do this. I'm not capable. I've never been able to. I guess this just isn't for me. Failure is actually progress, though. But when the process already feels hard and overwhelming, failure becomes your end game. And I think the biggest thing that gets missed along the way is that when we set out on our journey, when you decide, I'm ready for change, I want change. Maybe you're not even ready, right? Sometimes we just have to want it enough to get started, to do it scared, to take that first step. You are choosing to do it. You want to lose the weight because you believe that you will feel so much better when you do. You believe that you'll have more energy to keep up with your kids and to live the life that you have in a way that you want to be living. That is your choice. But all of a sudden, it becomes this overwhelming, hard task that you feel like you have to do. And you try to muscle your way through it and try to draw up all the willpower that you think you need, but that never works. I don't think willpower and fun can ever coexist. That's my take on it. I think willpower feels very hard. It feels very heavy. It feels like this, big push that we need to do something. When you turn your goal into hard, complicated, and overwhelming, it will never last. You will always give up. Somewhere along the line, you will give up. It will feel like too much. And every time you give up, it gets harder. You create a bigger gap between where you are and where you want to be. A gap that is filled with the stories that your inner mean girl tells you, the stories that you can't do it, that it's not possible, all of the reasons why. But the whole point of wanting to change how you feel and what you do is because you believe that your life will be better on the other side. And the whole point of life is to enjoy it. And maybe I'm wrong, but I have to believe that we are put on this earth to enjoy it. I also believe that if we have goals for ourselves, we are meant to achieve them. And the only reason we don't achieve them is because we give up on them too soon. We listen to our inner mean girl, we make it harder than it needs to be, and we back down. But what if it didn't have to be so hard? I truly believe that it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it be. The moment that I let go of the hard, everything changed. And I have coached too many women that tell me that it finally feels simple, that they can't believe how much they have changed, and that they were able to create change in 6 months of working with me after struggling for so long. I have coached too many of them to believe that it has to be hard. And I really think that the biggest reason we make it so hard is because we miss the fun. One of my clients, she came to me and she was in a very dark place at the time. She really didn't even know how she was going to change. She knew that she wanted it. She knew she wanted to change. She knew how important that was to her. But she really, really, really believed that she had tried everything and nothing worked. And we actually spent several weeks just building the belief that maybe it was possible for her. Not even like doing anything during that time, just simply like clearing out some of those stories of her inner mean girl and finding the belief that maybe it was possible that she could do it. As she came into this belief more and more, you could see a spark inside of her. Like the real kind of spark that creates like this desire for change. And that there was a pretty good chance that maybe she could do it. And as a coach, I think that is one of the most fun experiences to see someone who sees that possibility, who starts to believe in themselves, maybe for the first time ever, because I know how powerful that moment is. So as she stepped into this belief and she started to believe it more and more, we started to focus on the steps that she could take. The small, the simple, the doable steps that worked for her life, the way that her life was right then and there. But her main objective was to find joy in every step that she took. We had to make it fun for her. And this was really meant to anchor her in that desire for the change that she wanted, to remind her that she wanted this, that this was a choice. With every step that she took, she directed her focus to finding joy. Sometimes it was found in what she was actually doing, the walk that she took, or the Peloton ride that she really enjoyed. And sometimes it was found in how she felt afterwards. Sometimes that joy was even found in the pride that she felt simply by showing up for herself, in quieting her inner mean girl and making a decision that actually moved her closer to where she wanted to be instead of spiraling her in all of the doubt and the confusion and the overwhelm that she had been in. But when this was her focus, she always found it because she was always looking for it. And in 6 months, she created a really solid routine for herself. She lost over 20 pounds. She felt amazing and she was having so much fun in her life, something that really had been very foreign for her for a very long time. And this was my experience too. When I was struggling with my body for over 20 years, always felt really hard. It was a long list of things that I felt like I needed to do in order to change my body. Nothing ever happened fast enough. It always felt like I was working so hard doing all of the things, and yet I only ever seemed to end up right back where I started. The thing that changed everything was the moment that I decided to quiet that inner mean girl. And instead of demanding change from my body, I started to get really curious about what my body was capable of. And that is so much fun. Meeting your body where it is right now, getting curious about what makes it feel really good, being intentional with your choices and exploring the ripple effect of every choice that you make, seeing what your body is capable of and what it can do when you continue to show up and take care of it from a place of love. That is a very different experience than doing something and demanding your body to change and to change quickly. Figuring out exactly what works for you and your body and your life is so much fun because then you know how to do it for the rest of your life. That is yours to keep. That is what my clients gain when they work with me. I don't give them a meal plan or a workout routine. They can Google that stuff. They can chat GBT it. But I help them to develop the skills to lose weight in a way that works for them and to confidently keep it off for the rest of their lives. I help them to develop habits that work with their lives when their lives are busy. And we have so much fun doing it. I'm not sure the last time that I met with a client where we didn't laugh together. They are focused and they work hard, and we have a lot of fun. That fun carries them through. That fun is what creates the change that they want in 6 months after spending years struggling. Maybe it's not as hard and as complicated as you think. Maybe you're just not having fun. So, I want to offer you 5 things that you can do to bring more fun into your journey right now. The first is very, very simple. They're all very simple, but the first is very, very simple. It's to remember why you started. Remember what you saw waiting for you on the other side. Think about how you're going to feel, what's going to be different about your life. And remember that this is a choice. And so is having fun. Having fun is always a choice. And if you're choosing to do something, choose to make it fun. It's very simple. The second is to lean into your life right now. Work with your life. This is one of the best skills that my clients develop when we work together. They don't wait for their lives to change in order for them to create the change that they want. They meet their lives, their time, their energy, their body where they are right now. They use the time and energy that they have. They allow it to be enough. They aren't scared away by their busy schedules because they know they can always find a way. They become highly resourceful. And when you become highly resourceful, fun comes with it because you trust yourself enough to always find a way. Okay, the third is to do what's fun for you. Again, very simple. And I know that it may sound really obvious, but I don't think that it is, especially when you get into the thick of it. It's easy to be consumed with there's a right way to do it. And it's easy to be consumed with all of the things that you think you have to do and need to do and should do. But sometimes the thing that works for you is none of those things. The amount of time that women ask me, but what's the best thing to do for? And I always tell them it's the thing that you enjoy doing, because that is the thing that you will come back to. That is the thing that will build consistency and motivation. That's what builds confidence. And ultimately, that's what creates the change that you want in your life. The change that is yours to keep for the rest of your life. Bring it back to what feels fun for you and allow that to be enough. The fourth is to stay in your own lane. Your inner mean girl loves comparison. She loves to look at what others are doing and she loves to tell you that they have it all figured out and they know what they're doing and it's so much easier for them. But take it from someone who's spiraled in the land of compare and despair for over 20 years. Comparison sucks all of the fun out of your journey. Nobody's life is like yours. Your body, your time, your life is unique, and that is a beautiful thing. And so is staying in your own lane. And your own lane is the most fun place to be. And the last thing that I will offer is for you to engage support. If you have tried DIYing all of your past efforts and it's not working for you, it's time to engage support. I never want you to be afraid to do it alone, but even more so, I don't want you to think that you have to do it alone. So many women tell me that they want to see if they can do it on their own. But the truth is, they already know the answer to that. They've been trying to do it on their own and it hasn't been working. Trying to figure it out on your own and muscle your way through quickly makes it not fun. But doing it fully supported is the greatest feeling in the world. I got coached on Tuesday afternoon and I left that call feeling like I was on top of the world. This is the feeling that you can have every week when you work with me, plus all of the laughter that we have on our calls. It really can be fun. If I want you to know anything, it's that it can be fun. Creating the change, losing the weight, building the confidence, changing your habits doesn't have to feel so hard. Take these things, apply them to your journey, and you will become a master of fun. You will lose the weight that you want to lose. You will create the habits that you want to create. You will build the confidence that you want to feel, and you will do it faster and simpler than you ever thought possible. Okay, that is our episode for this week. Go out. Your homework is to go out and to have fun. And to remember that this is a choice. Having fun is a choice, and you can also choose to do this fully supported. All right, I will talk to you next week. If you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, I invite you to join me inside Confident Mind and Body, my private coaching program, where you will learn to quiet your inner mean girl and create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. Just visit wellnesswithabbyh.com and schedule a free consultation.